All right, what up, everybody? This is welcome to Unit 2 in Statistics. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully, Unit 1 went well and that you did okay on the tests. This is the beginning of Unit 2. So before I get into this worksheet, let me kind of teach you a little bit about what is going on here. Unit 2, before COVID and before we were doing this all online, was a unit in which we learned all about graphs and graphing and different types of things. However, that gets really kind of difficult when you're working from home and you don't have the rulers and the protractors and things like that to use as you would here in school. So to help us with this, Unit 2 is cut way shorter than what it has been in other years. So it got cut way shorter. So what I'm teaching you now is the things that you need to know, not only for this test, but also for the semester, or excuse me, the year-long test, the big CRT that is worth a major part of your grade. So this is the exact stuff that you need to know. All right, the first thing that you need to know is the difference between a histogram and a Pareto chart. And so you don't really need to be able to create them with any sort of exactness, but you have to be able to recognize which one what is. Like, so this is what I mean. Okay, they're both looking like bar graphs. They're both bar graphs looking things. Okay, however, the difference is this. A histogram is a bar graph in which the bars touch. Okay, the bars touch. Okay, so a histogram, the bars can touch. Also in a histogram, the bars can go up, they can go down, they can do whatever they need to do. And what these things will be is, and these will be in a chronological order. So these will be at something like 1.5, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, something like that. So that is, these bars will go in a chronological order from left to right. So whatever order they should come in is what they are. So a histogram, the bars touch and they can go up and down. A Pareto chart. A Pareto chart is again a bar graph. However, the keynote difference that you can see is one, the bars don't touch. Okay, there is space. There's spaces in between the bars. The bars don't touch. And the bars go downhill. They must go downhill, not uphill. They go downhill. So this is not going to be like a histogram where it comes in a chronological order. Instead, what these bars are going to represent is a category of something. It'll represent something like, I don't know, people who, drive to work, people who bike to work, people who walk to work, and people who, I don't know, roller skate or something. All right, so that would be a category. So you could technically put these in any order that you needed to. However, what you do is you start at the biggest category and it works to the smallest category. So a histogram, the bars touch and they can go up and down. And a Pareto, the bars don't touch and they strictly go downhill. That's the keynote difference, and that's how you recognize what is a histogram, what is a Pareto, that sort of thing. Onto the assignment itself, assignment 2A. Question number 1 says, identify all the graphs that are histograms. So histograms are bars that touch and they can go up and down. So in option A, those bars touch and they can go up and down, so that is a histogram. That could be a histogram. B is not a histogram. Notice how the bars do not touch. C is a histogram. Those bars touch and they can go up and down. D is not a histogram. Those bars don't touch. E is a histogram. Those bars touch and they can go up and down. It doesn't matter. F is not a histogram because they don't touch. So histogram, the bars have to touch. So in the histogram answers were A, C, and E. Number 2, identify all the graphs that are Pareto charts. So again, a Pareto is bars that don't touch and they strictly go downhill. So A is not a Pareto. Those bars touch. I can't have the bars touching. B, okay, the bars are not touching, but what I notice about B is they go uphill. So that's not what I'm looking for. They need to go downhill. So close, but not quite. C absolutely is the worst answer here. C is the bars are touching, they're going up and down. That is absolutely not a Pareto. D is not a Pareto. Yes, the bars don't touch, that's good. However, the bars are going up and down. That doesn't count. E, the bars are touching, that's not a Pareto. And they go up. F is your Pareto. Notice how the bars don't touch and they strictly go downhill. So F is your only Pareto that exists from these options. Number 3, draw an example of a Pareto. So what I need to do is I need to draw bars that don't touch and they go downhill. So my advice is start with a bar that is big. Okay, also, a note that I haven't really mentioned before is when you make these things, you have to have all the bars with the same width, and the spaces all have to have the same spacing as well. So the spaces have to be the same and the bars have to have the same width. It's a little close. Sorry, let me try that one more time. So I'm trying to get the spacing is the same as from the sideline, so maybe like there-ish. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Same width. Okay, that's pretty decent. So those bars are about the same width and the same spacing. Okay. If they didn't have the same width and the same spacing, it leads to bias in your graph. Like, which is more money? Is that more money? Or is that more money? You know, if this is the cash money over here, which one represents more money? And so if you don't make the bars with the same width and the same spacing and stuff like that, a lot of people are like, yeah, look at all that cash right there. Which it doesn't really, it leads to bias in your graph. So your graphs have to have the same width and the same spacing. Okay, so that is an example of a Pareto. The bars are of the same width, they are spaced out, and they go downhill. All right, number 4, make a histogram. So this is where bars touch and they can go wherever they want. But again, the bars have to have the same width. So try to create bars with the same width. Again, they can go up and down, they can do whatever you want them to, that sort of thing, as long as they have the same width. There you go, that's a histogram. Pretty straightforward. All right, what you need to do from what else is they'll specify what type of histogram that they want. So just make sure that the side numbers are of what that type is. Like, so if they wanted it to be frequency, that would be something like a frequency. If you want a relative frequency, then they're going to have to be decimals and things like that. So just when you're identifying it, like on the big test and things like that, just pay attention to what the side numbers are as well. But right now, I'm pretty happy with you guys just understanding just generally what a histogram and a Pareto look like.